A pleasant day to each and everyone. I am Jamaica D. Espeda, a second-year student taking up Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in Social Studies at Negros Oriental State University, Shatan Campus. As part of our subject, which is Ed 201 with a course description of Technology for Teaching and Learning 1, I will be discussing a topic under Module 3. Theories and principles in the use of design and technology-driven learning lessons, specifically Dale's cone of experience, with equal attention given to both the conventional technology and the innovative and emerging technology for teaching. We will explore Dale's cone of experience and present classroom activities or exercises that illustrate each layer of the cone of experience. Before discussing Dale's cone of experience, let us first tackle about the 8 M's of teaching. There are factors to think about while you prepare to become a teacher. The 8 M's of teaching are one method of expressing it, and each component helps to guarantee effective instruction. The 8 M's of teaching: number 1, milieu, the learning environment. Learning assumes primary importance in teaching and learning since it is influenced by environmental factors. The typical learning environment at school is the classroom, yet it is not the only one. Teachers must make the classroom as exciting as they can. Number 2, matter, the content of learning. This is the information that needs to be learned according to the learning objective. Before going on the next lesson or unit, the instructor should ensure that the class has reached the required minimum standard or level of proficiency. Number 3, method or teaching and learning activities. This consists of deliberate, planned actions and activities that are carried out by the instructor and the students in the classroom to achieve the desired educational goal. Methods are never an end in themselves. They are just means to a goal. Number 4, material, the resources of learning. Materials are tools that the teacher and students can use to stimulate learning in a classroom setting. This could be a physical object or a human person. Number 5, media or the communication system. This refers to the way the communication works in a teaching and learning environment, both promoting common understanding in instruction and creating and sustaining a positive psychological environment in the classroom that is conducive to learning are served by doing this. Number 6, motivation, arousing and sustaining interest in learning. The fundamental rule of learning is a motivation. A student will only take in information that he is interested in. Number 7, mastery, the internalization of learning. This refers to the internalization of knowledge that results in automatic or habitual change in behavior through meaningful repetition and application. Mastery is achieved by fixating on the material to be learned, which moves it from short-term to long-term memory and make it easier to apply and transfer to other situations in the future. Some refer to it as executive control. Number 8, measurement or the evidence that learning took place. The systematic gathering of learning evidence is done during this last step of teaching or learning process. This focuses on the behavior or component of the objective. Media is one of the 8 components of instruction. Material is an additional. Actually, the constituents of the cone of experience are these 2 M's, media and material. With regard to the system's approach to instruction, Edgar Dale's cone of experience correlates well with the various instructional media. The cone of experience, it is a visual tool that displays bands of experience. Although it permits easy transactions between levels, it does not strictly define the bands as being mutually exclusive. In fact, the sensory aids may cross over and even merge. For instance, watching a play is different from participating in it. Executing the plan as opposed to simply hearing someone describe the architectural concept is very different. As stated by Dale in 1969, not difficulty but degree of abstraction determines how the experience bands are arranged, the extent to which direct sensory participation is required. Simply put, it is less tangible as a teaching tool than dramatization because when we educate, we don't necessarily start at the base of the cone with direct experience. Instead, we start with an experience that best fits the needs and capabilities of specific learning environment. We supplement this experience with a variety of other learning activities. The bands in Dale's cone of experience. Direct purposeful experiences. Direct purposeful experiences are hands-on activities that grant us responsibility for driving a specific outcome. We are active agents in the learning experience. In a sense, direct purposeful experiences are an unabridged version of life itself. These rich, full-bodied experiences can be considered the bedrock of all education. After all, learners can see, handle, taste, feel, touch, and smell these experiences. As such, at this level, learners use more senses in order to build up their knowledge. Learners learn by doing tasks themselves. As a result, learning happens through actual hands-on experiences. Contrived experiences. These can make the concept easier to grasp. After all, some realities are far too complex to take in all at once. As such, contrived experiences are limitations that sometimes teach better than the realities they imitate. Contrived experiences are very practical and make the learning experience more accessible. After all, they have a concrete nature that permits easy visualization and helps to foster a better understanding of the concept at hand. And on top of all of that, contrived experiences are easier to manipulate or operate. Dramatized experience. This enables learners to participate in reconstructed experiences that could give them a better understanding of the idea or concept. In this manner, dramatizing real-life experiences can help learners to get closer to certain realities that are not easily available firsthand. They also provide a safe environment for experimentation. Demonstrations. How to bake a cake or how to execute the dance step is an appropriate way of making the learning experience meaningful. Demonstrations are especially useful if a hands-on activity is logistically unfeasible. Study trips. These rich experiences help learners to learn more about different objects, systems, and situations. As such, study trips provide an opportunity to experience sometimes that learners cannot be encountered within the traditional classroom space. Exhibits. These are the place of models such as pictures, artifacts, posters, among others that provide the message or information. These are basically viewed. However, there are currently exhibits that allow the viewers to manipulate or interact with the display, and as a result, the exhibit becomes more engaging and fun. Television and motion pictures. These allow learners to experience the situation being communicated through the mediated tools. They provide a feeling of realism as viewers try to understand the message portrayed by actors in the still pictures, recordings, radio. In more modern terms, this level could include photos, podcasts, or audio files. Visual symbols. These visual symbols help to make just about any reality into something easier to understand. Examples of these are information presented through a graph or a chart. For example, a process can be presented using a flow chart. Verbal symbols. As explored, each level of the cone moves this learner a step further away from real-life experiences. As such, experiences focusing only on the use of verbal symbols are the furthest removed from real life. Therefore, Dale's cone of experience exemplifies how we can maximize students' experiences by using a variety of materials and formats. Consideration of the sensory effects of our educational materials is also beneficial. That's all for today's discussion. I hope you learned something. Goodbye and thank you! Therefore, Dale's cone of experience exemplifies how we can maximize students' experiences by using a variety of materials and formats. Consideration of the sensory effects of our educational materials is also beneficial. That's all for today's discussion. I hope you learned something. Goodbye and thank you!